So articulation point. So what is an articulation point in a graph? So articulation point is that node which when removed from a graph increases the number of component in a graph. Like in previously we saw what is the bridge in a graph. Bridge was what that edge which when removed from a graph increases the number of component. Similarly, the nodes are called as articulation point if we remove that node and delete all its edge. If the number of component of a graph increases, then that node can be called as an articulation point. Let's try to understand with this example. In this graph, you can see if we remove node 0, will the number of component in the graph increases? No, because if we delete node 0 and deletes all its edge, the number of component in the graph remains the same. Similarly, if we try to remove node 1 and deletes all its edge, will the number of component be increased in the graph? No. Let's try to remove node 2. If we remove node 2 and delete all its edge, will the number of component in the graph increases? Yes. Let's see how. If we delete this node, this edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, which belongs to node 2, then this part of the graph remains becomes one component, and this becomes another, and this becomes another. So the number of component in the graph increases. So this node can be termed as an articulation point. Similarly, let's see whether if we remove node 3, will the number of component in the graph increases? Yes. If we remove node 3 and delete all its edges, then this part of the graph becomes one component and the rest becomes another component. So yes, the node 3 is an articulation point. Similarly, let's see if we remove node 5, will the number of component in the graph increases? Yes. If we remove node 5, delete all its edges, then this part of the graph becomes one component and the rest becomes another component. So the number of component in a graph increases by deletion of node 5. So node 5 can also be termed as an articulation point. What about node 6? If we delete node 6 and delete all its edges, will the number of component in a graph increase? No. So node 6 is not an articulation point. Let's try to understand it with one more example. The number of articulation in a following graph. Let's see. Is node 1 an articulation point? No, because if we delete node 1 and its edge, the number of component in the graph remains same. But what about node 2? Yes, if we delete node 2 and all its edges, the number of component in the graph increases. This part of the graph becomes one component and the rest becomes another component. What about node 3? Yes, if we delete all the edges belonging to node 3, then the node 3 becomes an articulation point. Now what about these leaf nodes? These nodes are called as leaf nodes because they do not have any child. So one thing to note is that a leaf node can never be an articulation point, because removal of a leaf node does not increase the number of component in a graph, and thus any leaf node can never be an articulation point. Similarly, node 5, if we remove node 5, the number of component in a graph increases. So node 5 is also an articulation point. So in this graph, we can see that node 2, node 3, and node 5 are all three nodes are articulation points. Now let's see how we can find out these articulation points. Now what these articulation points actually represent. These articulation points represent weak links in a network or in a communication system. This method can be used to find out where the weak link lies. If we denote any weak link, then the communication system between the two part of the system will get damaged. So these articulation points represent weak links. Let's see how we can find out these articulation points. So the first step is we since it's an undirected graph, we need to convert this undirected graph into a DFS tree. DFS tree is what basically will traverse every node. Every node will apply depth first search, and as in order of visiting node, will assign every node an ID, and will also assign a low link value initially. The low link value of every node would be its ID itself. So like what I'm trying to say is that first we'll apply depth first search on node 0, and we'll assign an ID to node 0 as 0, and from node 0 we can go to node 1. So we'll add this edge as in our DFS tree, and we'll assign, since node will also create an array, boolean array, to keep the track of visited and unvisited node. So node 1 is unvisited, so we'll mark this node as visited, and we'll assign a low link value which is its id itself initially, so it would be 1. Similarly, from node 1 it will go to node 2. Node 2 was initially unvisited, so we'll mark node 2 as visited and we'll add this edge to our DFS tree. Now from node 2 it can go to node 0, it can go to node 5, it can go to node 3. Node 0 was already visited, so what this represents is that this edge node 2 to node 0 is a back edge. We need to keep a track of back edges also. So what we would do is since we will add this edge and we'll give a different id, means like from node 0 to node 1 this was an unvisited node, so what we did, we added edge 0 to 1 and we keep a value that it's a direct edge and it's not a back edge. So what we did, we pass a value of 0 along with it, so that we know that this is a direct edge and this is not a back edge. Similarly, for node 2 to 0 it's a back edge, so what we will do, to notify that it's a back edge, we'll pass a value 1 along with it, so this will specify that this is a back edge. From node 2 it can go to node 5, which is an unvisited node, so we'll mark node 5 as visited. We'll add this edge to our DFS tree, and since it was a direct edge to an unvisited node, we'll pass 0 along with it. Similarly, we'll assign a low link value to node 5 as 5. Similarly, from we'll traverse, we'll apply depth first search on each node, and let's see which edges will get added to our DFS tree. So see, from node 0 to node 1 it was a direct edge. In this graph you can see I've marked all the edges, direct edges, with a red color and all the back edges with a yellow color. So from node 0 to node 1 it was a direct edge, so it is marked with 1, it is marked with red color and the edge is highlighted. Similarly, from node 1 to node 2 it was a direct edge, so it was with red color. From node 2 to node 0, since node 0 was already visited, it is marked as marked with yellow color. From node 2 to node 5 it was a direct edge, so with red color. From node 5 to node 6 it was a direct edge, so with red color. So, and from node 5 to node 8 to node 5, since node 5 was already visited, it was a back edge, so marked with yellow. Now what we would do is, initially we had assigned a low link value to every node we had assigned a low link value its id itself. So it was 0, it was 1, it was 2, it was 5, it was 6, it was 7 for this, it was 8 for this, 4 for this, 3 for this. Now what we would do is, we'll apply again, we'll modify the low link value of each node by visiting from that node. We'll apply depth first search and we'll see which is the minimum edge, minimum id that we can visit. But we will apply depth first search on this graph and not the undirected graph that we had initially been given. So what we would do is, we'll apply depth first search from at node 0. Since it's a root node, it has got minimum low link value, so we won't visit that node. We'll go to node 1. From node 1 it can go to node 2, and from node 2 it can go to node 0. Since the low link value of node 0 is 1, we'll modify the low link value of node 1 as 0. Similarly, from node 2 it can directly go to node 0, so the low link value of node 2 would be 0. Now we'll apply DFS on node 3. From node 3 it can go to only node 4, whose low link value is 4, which is greater than the low link value of node 3. So the low link value of node 3 won't get modified, it will remain the same. From node 4 it can go to nowhere, so the low link value of node 4 would be 4 itself. From node 5, let's apply DFS on node 5 to modify its low link value. From node 5 it can go to node 6, whose DFS value is greater than the initial DFS low link value, so the low link value of 5 won't get modified. From node 6, when we'll apply DFS on 6 to get the new low link value, see, so from node 6 we can go to node 7, from node 7 we can go to node 8, and from node 8 we can go to node 5. So the initial low link value of node 6 is 6, and it can go to link which has a low link value of 5, which is less than the initial low link value, so it would get modified. And similarly it would get modified for 7 2, it would get modified to for 8 2, so it would be 5. So let's see what would be the final low link value of each node. So see, here I have explained, for node 0 it is 0, from for node 1 it could go from node 1 to 2 to from 2 to 0, so the low link value of 1 becomes 0. From node 2 it can go to 0, so its low link value also becomes 0. From 3 it could go to 4, but 3 has already had a low link value which is less than the its child low link value, so the low link value doesn't get modified, so it remains 3. For 5 it can go to 6, it can go to 7, from 7 to 8, and from 8 to 5 back, but everywhere the low link value was greater or equal to, but nowhere the low link value was less than this, so the low link value won't get modified. For 6 it gets modified because it can go to a node which has low link value 5, which is less than the initial low link value, so it would get modified, and similarly it would be modified for 7 and 8 too. Now once we have found out the low link value, what we have to apply is, now I'll see which edges have been added. So as I said, from node 0 it could go to node 1, from node 0 it could go to 1, and it was a direct edge, so I had passed 0 along with it to know whether it's a direct edge or not. From node 1 it could go to node 2, so I've added node 2. From node 1 it could go to node 2 and it was a direct edge. For node 2 it could go to node 0, see here, but here I have passed 1 because it was a back edge, so we could track whether it was a back edge or not. From node 3 from node 2 it could go to node 3 and it was a direct edge, so I have passed 0. Similarly for all. So once we have found out the modified value, low link value for each node, we would visit each node and compare its ID with its child low link value. But one thing also we have to keep in mind, that whether the node is a root node or not. For root node it is a bit different. So like for example, consider node 5. Is it a root node? No, it's not a root node. So what we would do is, we'll compare its ID with its child low link value. So by this what I mean is that we are assigned ID of this node as 5. We'll compare its ID with its child low link value. So its child low link value is 5. So the ID should be less than or equal to its child low link value. Here it is 2. So this node 5 becomes an articulation point. Now similarly if we try and see for node 6, its ID is 6 and its child was 7. So is ID of 6 less than or equals to the low link value of 7? So the low link value of 7 was 5. So 6 is not less than or equal to 5, so this condition becomes false. So node 6 is not an articulation point. Similarly for node 7, its ID is 7 and its child was 8 and its child low link value was 5. So 7 is not less than or equal to 5. This also condition becomes false. So node 7 is not an articulation point. Let's see for node 2. From node 2 there was many edges. One was this, one was to node 5, one was to node 3. So ID of node 2 for will check for all its child. Will won't check only for one child. So if we consider 2, ID of node 2 was 2 and its child low link value is 0. 2 is less than or equals to 0? Definitely not. So this condition becomes false, but it has got more child also, so we have to check for all the conditions, and if with any node also if the condition gets satisfied, then that node becomes an articulation point. So node 2 is not a root node, so we'll compare its ID with its child, all its child. So for its ID 2 is less than or equals to its child low link value. Yes, 2 is less than or equals to 5, which condition is true, so therefore node 2 becomes an articulation point. Now for node 1, its ID is 1 but its child was 2 and its low link value is 0. 1 is less than or equal to 0? Definitely not. So node 1 is not an articulation point. Now let's see how the code implementation for this looks like. So what I have done is, I have created a vector of vector to store the undirected graph. So here I have resized to the number of nodes in a graph. I have used an add undirected edge function. So here you can see I have applied pushback function twice because it says that it was an undirected graph. Once I store the graph, the next step is to apply depth first search on the graph and store the low link value and convert it into a DFS tree. So for that I have created a boolean array to keep the track. I have also assigned created a vector which will store the low link value. Initially the low link value, as I stated, would be equals to the ID of the node itself, and this vector it is to store the edge, the DFS edge, the DFS tree edge. what I do is I apply depth first search for node 0. So what it does is it goes and visit all its child. So here you can see that I visited all the child of node 0. If the node that we can reach from node 0 is visited or unvisited, if it is unvisited, we mark that node as visit. We assign that flow link value as its node id itself, and we'll add that edge. Since it was an unvisited node, we have to keep that edge as an edge which is a direct edge, not a back edge. So we'll pass 0 along with it. So here I've stored in a vectors of pair. So what here it does is it adds the node which can be visited, and whether it was a directed edge, or it was an undirected edge, or it was a back edge. And we apply DFS on that edge which was not visited. And if the node was visited, here if this condition false, if this condition becomes true, that the node was already visited. So what we do is we add that edge and we pass that one along with it, which represent that edge was a back edge. Once we got all the directed graph, the next step comes is modifying the low link value of each node. So what we do is we consider every node and we apply depth first search on it, and we find out that what is the minimum id that it can be reached from that point, from that node. So we had assigned the low link value as its id itself, if and we then apply DFS modify link on each node. So once if he has found a node whose value is less than the current val, it will modify its val. See, here you have compared, if the current value is greater than the node where it can be reached, it's modified its value. And if that node if that edge is not a back edge, means like if that edge is not a back edge, we apply depth first search on it, and if that edge is a back edge, we don't apply a depth first search on it. We use only one of the back edge to reach its ancestor. Now once we have modified the low link value, the next step is to compare and get the edge. So here for every node we compare its id with its child low link value. So what we do is get articulation point. We also keep that in mind. We keep two things, whether it's a root node or whether it's not a root node. If it's not a root node, we just compare its id with its child. If the id is less than or equal to its child, then that node becomes an articulation point. But if it's a root node, we see whether it has got more than one child, and if the low link value of any of its child is different, means like if it has got more than one child, then the low link value of both the child are different, then that root node becomes an articulation point. Else that root node is not an articulation point, because removing if it's a cycle of three nodes, and if we remove root node, then that removal of that root node doesn't increase the number of component in a graph. So that's why that root node doesn't become an articulation point. But if it has got more than one child and the articulation value of low link value of both the child nodes are different, then that root node becomes an articulation point. Now here, then after I've got the see, so what it does is first it's check whether it's a root node or not. If it's not a root node, it visits all its child and compare whether the low link value is less than whether the node is less than or equals to the low link value of its child. If yes, then we add, this condition becomes true for any of its child, then we add that edge in a vector we have created to collect the articulation point. See here, I have created a vector to store the articulation point. So it adds. it add that edge to the vector. Now second thing, if that node is a root node, so what we do is we initially consider a value as -1. We traverse all its child, and if the value is still -1, we assign a value of its low link. But if it's not a -1, then we see uh, if the value is not equals to -1, we check whether the another child value, low link value, is similar to this child. If it is not, we add root node as a articulation point, and if value is still -1, what we do is we assign the low link value of its child. Then finally, I've printed with the help of for loop. I've printed all the articulation points. So let's see for this graph only. For this graph only, let's see. I have added. There were in all total 9 nodes and 10 edges. I have added the graph. This is basically I have printed the graph. Now, as you can see, the DFS tree that I have found out here. So it was from node 0, it could go to node 1, and it was a direct edge, so 0. Similarly, initially the low link value of each node was its ID itself, so it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now finally, when we modified the low link value, we got the low link value of each node as for node 0 it was 0, for node 1 it was 0, for node 2 also it was 0, for node 3 it was 3, for node 4 it was 4, for node 5 it was 5, for node 6 also it was 5, for node 7 also it was 5, and for node 8 also it was 5. And then we compared and we found out then that node 2, node 5 and node 3 were the articulation points. That's it.